Chelsea, co-owner of Move and Mobilize, where we help you move freely and live fully. For class today, all you'll need is 2 blocks or something similar, and let's start on our backs. Grab anything you need to be comfortable for underneath the back of the head. As you lay down, bring the soles of the feet together, take the knees wide, and then place your blocks underneath the outsides of the knees. You can take them on the low setting, the medium setting, or the high setting, depending on where those knees fall. Let the knees, the legs feel supported, and bring a hand to the belly, a hand to the heart. And just start to feel where you are in space. Notice the points of contact against the ground from the back of the head, across the shoulders, the weight of your hips. On your next exhale, try and soften the legs, and then feel the edges of the feet against the earth. Bring your awareness into your breath and follow your next inhale from the tip of the nose to the bottom of the lungs, and then follow your exhale from the bottom of the lungs to the tip of your nose. Without changing anything, how does your breath feel today? If it feels like your inhales are up against your collarbones, on your next breath in, try to expand your ribs 360, front, back, side to side. And let your exhale be soft and gentle as it falls up the nose or the mouth. Inhale fully. Exhale slowly. Start to count the rhythm of your breath, where your inhale matches your exhale. Then like that. Start to count the rhythm of your breath. Notice the length of your inhale and your exhale. Over these next few rounds of breath, start to lengthen your inhale and your exhale until they find an even pace. That might feel like inhaling for a count of 4 and exhaling for a count of 4. What feels like a comfortable rhythm? Is it extending it longer or shortening it? Keeping that ratio the same as you breathe in and out. On your next inhale in, fill the lungs with air. And exhale out the mouth to release. Bring your hands to the outside of the knees and help close the legs. Heel toe the feet apart, knock the knees together. Take the opposite rotation of your femurs. You can set your blocks aside beside you, but keep them handy. And then again, return to that sensation of your breath. Notice the length of your inhale and your exhale. Can you still breathe that 360 sensation in and feel the softness out? Heel toe the feet together, keep the knees together. Exhale, draw the knees into the chest. Wrap your hands around your shins and give yourself a squeeze, a hug. Rock side to side if that feels good. Grab one of your blocks, roll on to your right side. Stack the shoulders, stack the hips, stack the knees, and place your block underneath your head like a pillow. We'll start to work into the full range of motion of our hips. Grab your hands into a fist. Start to press down through your bottom leg. Push down through your shoulder as if you could hover your side ribs. On an exhale, drag that top knee up towards your chest. Find a nice big squeeze. Can you drag your toes against the ground and rotate your inner thigh up to your face? We're in external rotation here. On your next exhale, press down through that supporting leg. Squeeze the outside hip. Work to stack your knee over the hip or somewhere close. Keep this hacky sack sensation of kicking the heel up towards the face. Notice where you've hit this wall. Keep the hips stacked and then exhale to rotate through your wall. Rotate top the knee towards the ground. That ankle gets light and then keep wrapping that femur as you sweep your knee in line with the hip. Ribs down and in, reset your base. Exhale, work to squeeze that back glute, open up the front of the hip. Notice if you compensate through the low back, pull those ribs down and in. You can even release your hands, bring a hand to your hip, let you know where your body is in space. Next breath, start to grab your outside hip stuff, lift your knee up towards the ceiling, and then let's rotate through that wall once again. Inner thigh wraps up towards the face, we kick our hacky sack forwards as we sweep our knee up towards our chest, finding that starting position. Bring the heel down to the ground, the toes down to the ground, and then exhale, take a break. We'll do 2 more rounds on this side, moving through these really slow hip carves. Be aware of your compensations and notice where you can catch them. We're working to catch them as soon as we can and as fast as we can. So we push down through supporting shoulder, supporting hip. Exhale, start to open up your knee up towards the ceiling. Work to keep the hips stacked. Right where they want to fall back, pull it forwards just a millimeter. And this is where we'll rotate on our axis. Top of the knee starts to reach down towards the ground, ribs down and in. Keep hovering those side ribs. Sweep the knee in line with the hip. Take an inhale, exhale, ribs pull down and in. As you boot the wall behind you, start to open up that knee up towards the ceiling. Inhale. On your exhale, wrap that inner thigh forwards, kick your hacky sack forwards. And squeeze the front of your hip as you try and draw that thigh up to your chest, back to your starting position. Take an inhale. Exhale, we begin again. We push down through that supporting leg. Knee opens up towards the ceiling. Flip into the other rotation, internal rotation as you sweep that knee in line with the hip. Hips are stacked. Inhale. Exhale, ribs pull down and in. Stamp the wall behind you. And then open up your knee up towards the ceiling. When you can't move any further, rotate, kick your hacky sack forwards, external rotation, and then bring that foot back to the starting position. Take an inhale, and an exhale to shake out those legs, and let's flip sides. So we're building some heat in this hip joint, warming it up for all the work, but also the relaxation that's coming after. So find your other side, stack the shoulders, stack the hips, bring your knees to 90, and then start to press down through that bottom leg, through that supporting shoulder. Again, option to bring this top hand to your top hip, or keep those hands squeezing together. Now keep in mind, this side might feel different than the other. So it's okay if it has a bit of a different movement pattern. We're just going to express what we can find today. Inhale, just prepare. Exhale, drag that foot up. Try and wrap your inner thigh up towards the face as much as possible. Next breath out, open up the knee towards the ceiling. Notice where the hips want to fall back and work to correct it. On your next breath out, rotate that top knee down towards the ground. Keep wrapping that femur down to the mat as you sweep the knee in line with the hip. We find that extension. Take an inhale, exhale, boot the wall behind you. Start to open up that knee wide. And then rotate through that sticky wall, kick your hacky sack, and slowly return back to that starting position. On your next breath out, relax through the legs, the shoulders, take a moment to reset. Think about what you're carrying with you into this next round. Where are those compensations? Where can you correct them? And where can you work and grab a little bit more space? Exhale, start to hover the ribs once again. Find that base, drag the knee up to the chest, and then start to push away on your next breath. Open up the knee towards the ceiling. Keep those hips stacked, and then rotate that knee down to the ground. Keep sweeping until the knee comes in line with the hip. Take an inhale at the bottom. Exhale, reset your base and begin to push that knee up towards the ceiling. When it can't move any further, we rotate through our wall, back into that external rotation, and squeeze through the front of the hip as we come back to the starting position. Take an inhale. Now exhale, last stretch. Moving slowly, bring that awareness into the hip. Where do you rotate? Notice if those ribs dip down to the ground, and if you can bring them back to a hover. So you bring the knee in line with the hip, ribs down and in, little boop with the wall, and then open up towards the ceiling. Reach and rotate that femur back to that starting position. And then soften and release. On your next inhale, work yourself up to a seat. You can set your block aside and then find your way into tabletop. Take any wiggles that you need through the hips. Start to bring the big toes together, knees wide, exhale into child's pose. And you can bring a block underneath the forehead if the ground feels far away. Option to straighten through the arms or soften through the elbows. While you're here, continue to breathe 360 through the ribs. Inhale wide. Exhale to soften. Inhale into the back of the body. Exhale to soften. You find that even rhythm that you did at the beginning of class, where your inhale matches your exhale. On your exhale, is there room to soften the hips down into the ground, down on top of the heels? And we'll hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, walk yourself up onto your knees. Swing your legs up to the side. Start to set up in a 90-90 position. Blocks can keep handy. This front shin parallel with the front of the mat. This back leg can come up if it's getting in the way of us sitting comfortably. Start to turn the chest towards your front shin. And on your exhale, bow forwards. The belly button pulls forwards, chest leads. Then you find a stretch on the outside of the hip. Pull the toes to the shin. And if there's a nice big gap between your knee and the ground, you can place a block there. You can roll up the edge of a blanket. It also works as well. What's going to support us in finding that stretch somewhere around the outside of the hip today? Now our only job now is to just sit and breathe in this stretch. We'll hold here for another 30 seconds. If the mind starts to wander, find that count of your breath once again, counting the even inhale, the even exhale. Or you have the option to take that exhale just a little bit longer and lengthening it out. We have another 15 seconds left. Walk yourself up and out of the stretch. And now we'll demand some strength in this range of motion. So in our 90-90, back leg can come up. Find your stretch once again. Notice where that lives. On your exhale, start to squeeze that stretch. Connect to that muscle sensation. Then from here, start to rotate your inner thigh down to the ground. This puts pressure through the shin on an imaginary scale that's underneath the ankle, the shin. We want to put about 50% pressure down. This is us trying to fight this position that we're in. So if the ground wasn't here, our leg would go like this. It would flip into internal rotation. We're going to hold this 50. And if this feels okay in these next few seconds, you have the option now to ramp it up to 60, to squeeze the outside of the hip again. Put some pressure down. That feels good. Ramp it up to 70. Give it another squeeze to 80% effort. And let's hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take an inhale. Now on our exhale, we'll try and pull ourselves deeper into this external rotation. So that scale shifts to somewhere underneath the knee. Now we try and rotate our inner thigh up to the face as if one day our ankle could hover. But we're gonna do this hands free. Hands come down to the ground, and then exhale, try and rotate that inner thigh and hover that ankle one day. Now 50% sometimes feels like 100%. If this feels good, try ramping it up to 60. If there's room to squeeze even 10% more, 70. How about 80? Let's give it a little bit more squeeze. And again, we'll hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take an inhale to release. And then exhale if you need to, shake it out. Now we'll do one more round on this side. And this time we'll ramp it up a little bit faster and we'll hold longer. At any point, if you need to come out of the position, come on out. If you cramp, you can come on out and then rejoin us as soon as that cramp disappears, or stay just below that threshold. So we find our stretch, exhale, start to squeeze it, rotate inner thigh down towards the mat. We put pressure down through the ankle and through the shin. Find 50%, 60, 70, 80. Now squeeze as hard as you can. We'll hold 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take an inhale. Now exhale, we try and hover that ankle and get light. One day we'll slide a piece of paper underneath. It's 50% effort. 60, 70, 80. Now max effort hold. We'll hold 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Squeeze 10% more. 3, 2, 1. Release it out. Walk the hands behind the hips. Windshield wiper the legs. Let them go a little back and forth. And then let's set up for the other side. Other shin forwards. Again, that back leg can come up out of that 90 degrees. We can put that emphasis on the front. Turn the body to face towards that front leg. And then exhale, lower down into your stretch. We'll hold here, breathing slowly. Maintain that stretch sensation. So if it starts to fade or shift, where can you find the next bit of stretch? Again, we've got 15 seconds left. Walk yourself up. Make any adjustments that you need. Maybe you're bringing a block underneath the knee. There's a whole lot of space. We'll get into that active work. Start to find your stretch, squeeze it, and then we rotate. We put pressure underneath the shin and the ankle and drive down 50%. Assess how this side feels. If it feels good, then let's layer it on 60, 70, 80. We'll hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take an inhale. And then exhale, we pull ourselves deeper. So we drive down, try and get light underneath the ankle, rotate inner thigh to the face, hips stay level, 50% effort. If it feels good, ramp it up to 60, 70, 80. We'll hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Soften and release. Inhale and exhale. And we'll do one more round. Again, ramping it up faster, but holding a little bit longer. Find your base, find your setup, start to squeeze where you feel the stretch. Exhale, drive down, shin and ankle. Knee stays where it is. If we could rotate it on the axis, 50%, 60, 70, 80. Find a max effort squeeze, we'll hold 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Squeeze a little bit more. 3, 2, 1. Take an inhale. Exhale, we flip it. So we pull ourselves deeper into external rotation. Try and get light underneath that ankle. Most of this is coming from that femur. So let's find 50%, 60, 70, 80. Max effort. Squeeze as hard as you can. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go. Bring the hands behind the hips. And again, we'll windshield wiper the legs. This time bringing in more intention. So bring the knees down to the left side. Try and glue your left femur, your outside of your thigh, down to the ground. Open up the book. Start to drive the right thigh down to the right side. And keep squeezing that left thigh down with as much intention as you can. Slowly try and fight that shift and lift with that left leg. Making it slow. I'm squeezing the outside of my left hip as hard as I can until the outside of my right leg finds the ground. Then bring that left thigh down towards the right side. And then we go to the other side. So we lead with that left. We squeeze the outside of that right glute to try and glue the thigh down to the ground. And then slowly fight that switch as the left thigh finds the ground. That right leg trying to be as heavy as possible until eventually you have to roll it back and through. Take 1 to 2 more repetitions, moving slowly at your own pace, really trying to fight for as much engagement as you can. Make it hard for yourself these last 2 reps. Inhale, bring the knees back to center. Grab on, give yourself a squeeze. Inhale, lift on up. Grab the fronts of your knees. On your exhale, slowly roll yourself down to the ground. You could take this active, trying to do it hands-free, or you can walk the hands behind the thighs as you roll your spine down to the mat. When you arrive, move any props out of the way. Lay down onto your mat, and we'll close today in the same way that we started. Nice and relaxed through the legs. Bring the soles of the feet together, knees wide. Option to let gravity do the work, or give yourself some support with the blocks underneath the outside of the thighs. So we're back into that external rotated position. Bring your hands somewhere comfortable. Bring your awareness back into your breath once again. Follow your inhale from the tip of the nose to the bottom of the lungs. And follow your exhale from the bottom of the lungs to the tip of the nose. Start to lengthen your exhale so it becomes longer than your inhale. Settle into a rhythm that feels comfortable, where you notice the mind soften, where you feel your body relax all the way from the crown to the tip of the toes. Is there room to let go of any remaining grip in the hips and the legs? For this next minute of time, just breathe. Nothing to do, nowhere to be, just breathe. Feels good to stay where you are. I encourage you to stay here for as long as you need. When you're ready to move, grab the outsides of the legs, gently close the knees. Pull your knees into your chest, give yourself a great big squeeze. And we'll see you in the next video.